It is at the moment. I introduced a new defense policy update for my government and with a budget that will see my defense budget rise by 27% next year over this.
My quick math tells me that still takes you to 1.7.
And that's exactly where it takes me. But let me acknowledge to you, NATO's right. Every country, member of NATO, has to do more, and we're committed to doing more. We are also committed to the 2% expenditure at GDP. One of the challenges, I think every defense minister, and I get to meet with them all on a regular basis, it's not just a matter of how much you spend. It's a matter of spending it well and making sure that you can produce real value for our armed forces, for our NATO alliance and all of our partners, but also for our taxpayers. And I need to be able to demonstrate, like, I think I've got a very clear path. I know exactly what I need to invest in. I've got to replace my destroyers, my naval ships. I've got to replace our submarines. I've signed contracts for almost 200 new aircraft for my Air Force just in the past year and a half. But I've got to make sure that we can actually deliver on those commitments and create that credibly. You know, I've often said, I think the two great challenges every defense minister has is getting the money, spending the money well. And so all that is to say, Canada understands its obligation. I feel that responsibility gravely, and we're working really hard. The defense policy update that we've just produced moves us forward very substantially and doesn't get us entirely where we need to go. But there are things in that document as well that talks about the investments we know we have to make. Replacing the submarines, for example, creating a new integrated air and missile defense system for Canada's responsibility in North America. All of those things inevitably take me over 2%.
So, but there are people in this town who will say that is a lot of words, and what you're saying is we will be more efficient. The subtext could be that other countries are not. But the criticism still remains. I mean, America's defense spending is way north of 2%.
Yes.
That Canada might be seen as a free rider.
And I have no intention of Canada being a free rider. First of all, we've already made a commitment to NORAD. NORAD is our most important relationship here in North America with the United States. We're investing nearly $40 billion into NORAD modernization, including over-the-horizon radar systems, new satellite systems, a number of very significant capabilities. We understand our responsibility to that relationship. Similarly, in Europe and in NATO, Canada is leading the forward enhanced presence in Latvia. We're making very significant investments there. I'm in complete agreement with my allies that Canada must do more. The day I got this job, I've very publicly taken that position. We must do more, and we will do more. I've got a lot of work to do to make sure that we spend that money well, that we create the capabilities that we require. One of the challenges I'm also facing is we've got some real staffing challenges in the Canadian Armed Forces. I've got to address that problem so I can have sailors on those ships, people to fly those planes, soldiers to do the important work that we're asking them to do. And so all of that work is, I think we have a very aggressive plan to move forward. I'm very confident that it's going to bring us to that threshold, but I think it also has to be a credible plan. It has to be verifiable to our allies. It can't just be an aspirational approach. I think you've got to really come out and say, this is what we need to do, and this is how we're going to get it done. And over the course of the next few days, I'll be able to share that credible, verifiable plan with our allies to provide them with assurances that Canada understands its responsibility and we're going to live up to our responsibilities.
All right. Well, there'll be a lot of defense ministers in town this week who will ask you that question, and you've previewed your answer.